we got to even actually have a close up encounter with Richard Dreyfuss rather than just seeing him and saying hi at the Comic Con. We were actually shared the elevator with him the next day, going down, and the elevator. Now, we was a nice hotel, Hyatt Regency. We were on the 15th floor, and they had 4 elevators, but I guess the place was packed, and the elevators were the slowest that I've encountered in a long time. And then when we finally sat there and waited for one to go downstairs from the 15th floor, it seemed like it stopped at every single floor on the way down. And so if you remember, on Sunday morning, we're on our way down to the Comic-Con, and you and I, the door opens and it's already packed, right? But you and I squeeze our way in. Now, everybody, you know how big Glenn is. So when we squeeze our way in, we really squeezed our way in there. Or squoze, which is the word, I don't know. But anyway, we squeezed our way in. And lo and behold, Glenn is standing right next to Richard Dreyfuss.
Well, I'm a back to
You're right in front of him. You're right in front of Richard Dreyfuss, right?
A little small.
And and Glenn is, Richard Dreyfuss is a small guy. And Glenn is like looking at me with like a big smile on his face, like, Richard Dreyfuss is behind me, right? Now, little did Glenn, I guess Glenn forgot about the fact that, Glenn, you're rather robust. And then when you add the fact that Glenn had gotten up that morning and put this huge, everything that he brought to Louisville, he put in this big backpack, right? And he's got this big backpack on his back. And so he says, I'm standing in front of Richard Dreyfuss. And so I leaned around and looked, and poor Richard Dreyfuss, now here's this big Hollywood star, poor Richard Dreyfuss has his nose shoved into his face like he's got but he's being pancaked by Glenn's backpack, right? And poor Richard Dreyfuss there standing. And the only thing that saved him was on the next floor down, 2 floors down, the door opens up. And really, there was no room for anybody else to get on.
Yeah.
But this, what was her name? You remember her name?
Patricia Quinn from the Rocky Horror Show.
Patricia Quinn from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. She says, "Move back! I'm getting on." She's got this like smoker's voice or whatever.
Foo-foo juice all over her.
Yeah, exactly. But at least you had to move back enough to where you finally let the pressure off of Richard Dreyfuss's face. And I just knew that he couldn't say it because his mouth was smashed in, but I know he wanted to say, we're going to need a bigger elevator instead of a bigger boat, right? But so Richard Dreyfuss was there, and you had a very close encounter with Richard Dreyfuss.